Vlog number 33. Quick, let's get to the point. What I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna train first. Worked from 4:15. Now it's 11:30, so the first almost 8 hours of the day are pretty much done. Now I'm gonna train. I'm going to shoot some TikTok videos. And yeah, let me tell you also this, for the people who say, yeah, but I cannot train because I work every day 12 hours. As you can see, I already did 8 hours and I'm just getting started. And this is not to brag, this is just to motivate you lazy ass fucks. If you're a lazy ass fuck, or you think you work 12 hours and then the day is over. There's another 12 hours in the whole fucking day, right? You sleep maybe a little bit too long, or you put your laces a little bit too slow together. But you know, if you only work 12 hours a day, what the hell, you got nothing to complain about. So anyway, little motivation to start off with today. Fucking vlog number 33. And now the people every day hope, is he gonna make it, is he gonna fail? And of course the losers, they want me to fail. He's gonna miss one day and then I can actually send him some messages. I knew it. Or they can discuss it with their friends. I know you're watching and I know who you are, because the people who talk bad about you, they have also people always around them who talk also too much and do too less. But there's only one or two in each group, they still talk with me. Never forget this. That is a beautiful thing. And there is discretion from both sides, you know, from my side and from their side. So I always know a little bit, so beautiful people. Yeah, but that's another story, but I do enjoy that, because, you know, people who want to do bad or speak ill, you know, you should a little bit more careful about your words. And also, not only that, filter the people around you. Even if your life is all about speaking ill, keep an eye on your circle. Do you deserve your spot? You know, do you deserve anything in life? Because you work 12 hours, you're tired from what? Working in the coal mines? Anyway, this is not to look down on people, but it's just to motivate people. 4:15 people. Now it's 11:30, 11:45 I think. I'm walking towards the calisthenics, to a very distant calisthenics spot around Krasna Polyana, because I can really train over there in silence, because that's what I want now, silence, because I'm dealing with big obstacles. Yesterday we had this, yeah, there was one institution. Now, yeah, they sent me a message. See, and of course I will get more into details what I'm actually have to work out, but that will be along the way. And like I said, also I'm busy with compiling videos that I shot in very shitty situations. You can see I don't operate in the bullshit era. And yes, so we're gonna train, empty my head, and then we continue. And then it's the next session of the day, daytime till 6 or 7. Oh no, maybe today till 5. I'm gonna drink a beer. Then from 7 till 1 or something, you know. And then we call it a day. Usually I can do this, I said this before, I do this 5 days in a row, and then I have a little bit of crash. So what? Who cares if you're tired? Who cares if you're in total muscle pain like I am? At the moment I wouldn't even know how to do one single pull-up, but you know what? My brain says, fuck it, Dahlan, just really fuck it. Fuck it. It's all the physical thing, that's all fun, but to get mentally disappointed in myself is the worst thing that I can do. So fuck it, really fuck it. And the thing is, that people also say you need to have days off and recovery. I don't recover for, I don't know, I take maybe totally rest days, I think max 10 times a year, probably less. I say 10, but probably around 6. Let's say between 6 and 10. So so I'm not cutting myself in the fingers. Anyway, gonna buy water. Thirsty? More water, more water. Now that it's getting warmer again, I'm leveling up the water intake around 6 liters, and then we'll see. Ciao for now.
If you cannot handle real work, reality talk, 80+ language, simply skip the video.
Quickly, I went to this supermarket. I'm gonna say where it is in Krasnopolyana. This Fantastico. One woman. See, when I'm new in a supermarket, I always know how to play it a little bit, but sometimes I just don't show that I don't speak any word of Bulgarian. And this woman, I gave her 120. The price was 110. It's about only 10 cents, but still, she gave me back. Then I said it in Bulgarian. Where's the rest? Anyway, see, I don't mind the 10 cents, but don't take it. Don't assume that you just can take it because I wouldn't notice it, because that's sneaky. And if you do this multiple times with foreigners, of course, I understand. But I'm a professional foreigner over here, people. And if you watch this, woman with the beep, curly beep, don't do it, because I'm not stupid. And again, normally, also in the liquor shops, I always give a little bit baksheesh, tip. I don't mind, but don't take it. Just and pretend that you just want to rip me off. Pretend that you don't know, or think that I wouldn't notice it because I don't know the prices. I don't know this. Of course I do. I can read. I can even understand most of the stuff. But my speaking is, of course, not as good as I want to, especially not on the level as English, and especially not on the same level as oopsie daisy, as my Dutch level. Anyway, just saying, when you come to Bulgaria, keep an eye out. And it's everywhere like this, also in fucking Malta, So I'm just saying, because I lived over there also. Ciao for now. Little tiny look around Krasnopolyana, one part of it. The thing is, I also know from other vloggers, people also label that one as, I don't know what, shady neighborhood or whatever. So people, look around. And if you want to come to Sofia, come with me. And I will put sunshine in all the shady things and thoughts that you have about specific kind of neighborhoods, because I shake hands in most of the neighborhoods. Yeah, I'm just giving you a tiny look. I should walk somewhere else, but yeah, let's go to the main street. I'm almost in. I'm going to the old September stadium, and I think I showed it once before on the vlog, I'm not sure. And by the way, I could have gone with just step in the tram and I would be there, I think, in less than 5 minutes from my Airbnb. But I need, after hours and hours of editing and also busy with the scenarios, and I'm wrestling with one financial institution, which is a really back and forward going on fucking wrestling match. And not only that, some other things as well. But let's see where I'm gonna cross. I'm gonna cross over there. So now I want to empty my head, and that's why I'm also going a little bit where I'm not under the people, because when I go to the Rakowski Stadium, well, there's not a lot of really alone and private time. Okay, ciao for now. So it was a little bit a while that I talked about the optimization of the working structure of the vlogging thing. So while I'm actually walking now, I'm creating around 10 extra reels. When it's about the reels distribution, I think, because I'm running the test runs the whole morning with the scenarios, because I want to place it in one scenario, that videos go from YouTube to X/Twitter and Pinterest and Facebook pages, and I got a few Facebook pages, over 100 plus. Not that I'm gonna distribute the same videos to all those pages, but you know, you can play around with the description and everything, so that is definitely going on. But the work structure is now in such a format that is reasonable good, but also that I can focus a little bit more on quality and design of the thumbnail, quality, overall quality, so that goes up and up and up and up. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Once I have a reasonable and executable structure in place for, let's say, quote unquote normal people, I will share that scenario, because then it's for you, simply upload and it will be distributed. And that is distribution is a very big part of the deal. But not only this distribution, also creation of the reels, because I tested tons and tons of different strategies, and I do have now one in place. It's semi-manual and it's doable for everyone who is totally non-techie. I'm also, let's say, I'm pretty much semi-techie, let's call it like this, because I solved the past 10 years so much problems online as well, you know, technical things. And yeah, I do know a thing or two, but I also do know a thing or two that a lot of people do not want, you know. So I will make it as easy as possible for people who want to get into vlogging, to promote their business, to promote whatever they want, or to increase the amount of possible dates or whatever, or you understand where this goes. Just that you're more out there in a way much easier way than actually people show on YouTube, and you don't have to listen to people with difficult accents who use tools that are constantly outdated or whatever. I only use tools that are pretty much indestructible, but also for more than 10 years, active. So I'm entering now the thing. There are a few people. Let's turn it off. Off the camera for the people over there. There were women with babies. I'm gonna show you a little bit around. I don't remember if I ever showed this on the YouTube daily vlogs. On TikTok I think I did. See, it's only day 33 and I already don't know which areas I actually did film. But hey, if you're the first time over here, you see something new, and if you see it for the second time, you probably remember, which is a good thing, right? So let's see somebody sitting also there. So let's walk a little bit around. It's not that I don't want to bother him, but at least not with the camera. So probably I'm gonna get in another conversation. And I do want to show you a little bit the stadium without making other people paranoid. Can I go down? Let's see if we can get up from here. Look, there are a few trees on the tribunes. I think it's called like this. In Holland we say tribune. So yeah. Whoa. Whoa. That is actually interesting, right? Up. So here we go. This is, oh, there's a lot of peace over here. And I actually should have doing a little bit the boxing thing, but yeah, Not now. Just take a look. People used to go to war over here. Football. Football is war. I'm not gonna get in that one, but enjoy the view a little bit, people. Although you might think, yeah, but Dahlan, that looks like a big mess. Our stadiums are looking... Yes, your stadium does look like a little bit different. But it can always be worse, people. Everything in life can always be worse. So stop comparing and just enjoy the peace. Ciao for now. Extend on what I said before. Stop comparing, because I said something about this stadium, right? And then you would say, yeah, but Dahlan, our stadium looks better. And I saw something when I left the Airbnb just, I don't know what, 30 minutes ago. And I saw an incredible beautiful woman in a pretty old car. And then I thought, what is better? A beautiful woman, a ridiculous beautiful woman. We don't talk about high school beauties. We talk about ridiculous. By the way, if you see this, oh no, wait a minute, it's not for now. The thing is, the thought is, what do you prefer? A ridiculous hot woman, beautiful woman, classy woman. She also didn't look woman with all this makeup drooling from her fucking face, you know. Or you prefer a woman in a big car. Depends which country you are. Over here in Bulgaria, they very big fans of BMWs and Mercedes. Mercedes, that's how they pronounce it. But or do you prefer... Now, what did they say now? Do you prefer the ugly woman in a very beautiful car? Again, it depends on which country you live. When it's about beautiful car, it also depends on the taste. Or you prefer ridiculous, nice, beautiful, sexy, classy woman in a little bit an older car. I know what I would choose, because this woman has definitely also a very nice character. Probably. That woman has my interest. Women like this really grab my interest. Women with some sort of sense of that they take care of themselves on a higher level. Because this is also something. Women who put makeup just on their face like it's clay, right? And when you put them in the sun, you know, it's like you know, like a clay thing. Yeah, you know what's gonna happen, right? If you wake up next to a woman like that, yeah, surprise, surprise, MF, surprise, surprise. But you're the one who fell for it, because, see, I am pretty into details, and like I said also before, for me, the main thing, two characteristics for a woman: high level energy and authentic, true empathy for other people, and the rest comes with it. Because, you know, high level energy women, they put in the work into themselves, into other activities. You know, I actually once I went against my own set of rules. This woman was slamming with doors and she smoked cigarettes. Well, you get what you actually allow, and that also didn't went well. Although I also had women, they checkboxed pretty much all the things that I really liked, and I simply didn't work out anymore. But when people slamming with doors, loud calling in public, all those things, red flags, totally no respect for the people around them, you know. And I really love when women actually show genuine kindness to other people. And you can see the ones who pretend, because that is only temporarily. I also know a lot of people in suits, they pretend kindness. You can see it. You know, there's a blank thing. They don't have real interaction with the situation that they're dealing with, and then they pretend that they really care about something. Yeah, they care about their children and wives and on a specific kind of level, because if you really look at the relationships, well, that is not something you should be jealous of. Totally not people. If you're so self interest only, why you're on this planet? Only to knock up your girlfriend and that's it? That is a life of not fulfilling, and that's why you need PlayStation. That's why you need this big screen TV, just to distract yourself. You need to go to the football, destroy a couple of things, and you know how it works. Anyway, I'm actually going to enjoy a little. I need to do some freaking video calls, and I want to renegotiate the 10-liter challenge. I know if you're watching this, I'm now gonna text you. Ciao for now. In between, and in case you also work, or you still work from your laptop and you sit the whole day, what I always noticed, so this morning I also did sit in the Airbnb, sitting on my ass, working on my phone. And usually I walk around, but sometimes I need to hyper concentrate. But the thing is, the blood, I don't know, when you sit for a longer time, the blood is really, I don't know what, not flowing as, I don't know what. I always feel a little bit very blurred in my brain after a heavy session. So the thing is, now when I'm doing, look what we got over here, only a pull-up bar, couple of tires, and over here I'm doing the deep pike push-ups. Over here the high chest, even midriff pull-ups, and knee raises, leg raises, do the trick 60 with the legs left and right, window wipers, a lot of core. And over here I'm doing the forward lunges with touching with my hand the front feet with the opposite hand, right foot to the front with the left hand, so touching it with a straight back and with the other hand behind my back, so I keep a very straight controlled posture. And that is what I'm doing over here. And I'm now warming up. No, not warming up. Yeah, I'm pretty warmed up now. But my blood is really flowing again like a madman. Like I said, if you sit a lot, you need to keep. And by the way, I have one nice routine that can be done in 10 minutes a day, in case you want to start with something. Like I always say, don't start with all of a sudden 10 kilometers and then you are bursting into an extreme muscle pain. As long as you do things every day, don't decline, and just, let's say, 1 push-up first day, second day, 2 push-ups. And a lot of people might say, yeah, but it doesn't do anything. But if it's already more than you did before, you're doing something better than yesterday, than the day before. And it doesn't matter how ripped other people look like, or what other people tell you what you should do better. But I'm just telling you a little bit about putting things in structure. Start tracking what you're doing, the amounts. Are you going up, going down? And also, I used to wear headphones, and still sometimes I do, because especially when I want to totally empty my head, that I really want to be off the planet, then I'm wearing headphones. But now I'm very focused on breathing, posture. Am I swinging like a wild baboon? Not anymore, but I did. And when you wear headphones, you're not in contact actually so much with your thoughts. I'm really visualizing also from the top to my toes until the top of my fingers. How am I, do I have this straight line or whatever is necessary to execute an exercise in the best form possible. But not only this, you can do the dips in so many different ways, and if you just focus on the form, the execution, you can do way less dips and still look way much more ripped than the people who just try to pump out with their last energy 50 dips, and then then they simply stop, and then you can see it, they're chubby. Of course, you need for the mental part, you need a little bit the whey protein, so you can tell people I'm training. Yeah, right. So let's do a little run for 10 kilometers in the mountain, and then do over there let's say around 50 pull-ups, dips, and then run back. See, and that is for me important. Endurance, resilience, also for the mental torture, because that also says a lot about people when you get with them in projects. Resilience, how resilient. And I said this before, in the past I asked people, what's the worst thing that happened to you, and if those situations are totally out of your normality, then don't even consider, because if you already have experiences that are way above theirs, you understand they will drop off, they will reap the benefits, they will learn from you, and that's it, and they go away the moment that it hits the fan. People, ask the questions. What is the let's say it like this, today's question for the people to filter them: what is the worst thing you've been through? And real. We're not talking about missing batteries of the remote control, real problems. We also don't talk about dead grandmas or whatever, real problems. So just piece of advice: filter before you actually have to cure. Prevention is better than solve the problems caused by other people. I don't have any problems with solving my own problems, but I do have problems when people cause me problems. And I've been there, and like I said, I'm still solving problems that other people caused for me. Those are actually life-changing problems. And again, I will share this along the way, but I'm really in the middle now of it. Now I'm training, cleaning my head. Move forward, people. Ask the questions. Question for today, for the people that you call your friends. Like I said, I don't have friends, I have bonds. Those people run the extra 10,000, if not 50,000 kilometers extra. They put in the work. We don't have to call every single day, how are you doing? We never ask how are you doing. What are you doing? How are we going to solve this? Boom. Then we hang up the phone, we get to work. That's how it works. Not asking, did you do it actually? No, fuck off. You don't need people that you actually need to ask for update. Just do what you need to do, and that's it. Sounds very cruel though, but that's reality. Especially when you do a little bit more, if you just do a 9 to 5 and you're fine with that, and you think you have to spread your happiness about your great family life with other people, then do so. But don't bother me with that kind of stuff, because we both know you don't run the extra miles. You're under control. Anyway, I'm gonna finish it over here. Actually going, so I don't know what I said in the last clip, but I went in the Airbnb, little bit food, a little bit lentils, little bit bread, and then I thought I'm going outside because I need to write things down and think things out. And people come to me and start talking. By the way, if you watch this, you probably know what I'm talking about, but still I always like to talk with you, by the way, so don't worry about that. But I need to go now somewhere where I can sit alone. So what is the smart thing to do, Dahlan? Because I don't want to sit in the apartment, because, like I said, or in my room, in my Airbnb, cannot say that I have an apartment, because that would be a lie, Dahlan. The thing is, I want to go somewhere where I can sit anonymous. So so that's what I'm doing now. I'm actually thinking where to go. So let's see. So I do think I found a little bit of spot that I can be hidden. I'm gonna wait till the people show around. But when I need to solve problems, I'm not gonna hide names and whatnot. I always write things down in mapping format. Like this, I go through all the steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and what the possible outcomes might be, and then I'm gonna do the talks. Like this, I make the past, yeah, I can say the past 5 years, very good decisions by sitting just alone and writing things down, not on the phone, not on other stuff, laptops. I don't have a laptop. So yeah, and oh yeah, and I'm gonna finish this clip because I want to continue. If you have some sort of problems, issues, and or let's say emotional breakdowns, write things down. Just sit in the dark, just really sit in the dark, little light, turn off your phone, and just listen to your own thoughts. And this is what's gonna happen in the beginning. In the beginning, you will go totally fucking nuts. You will say, no, I'm not gonna hold this for an extra 15 minutes or whatever. But keep in mind, if you want to do more in life, you have to do things that other people don't do. And if you're watching this, you know the majority of people that you know do not spend enough time alone to actually figure out things the right way so they can actually provide you with the better version of themselves. That also is the same for you towards other people. So I'm doing this a lot. I'm also sometimes my longest amount of days, and I was alone in the room, also for 5 days. I had to figure out very complex things. And this is not to say how good I am or how bad I am or how alone I am or whatever. No, I'm just giving you a little bit an idea to figure out things. A lot of people do have so-called problems, but they never gave actually really the time or took the time alone to sit alone, think alone, write things down, not on laptops and all that kind of stuff. Because like with writing, you give every letter a thought. You put thoughts on your paper, you write it off. Like this also when you have anxiety or that kind of stuff, just write things off. That's why I probably also wrote a lot. I also shared this once before. I'm writing journals from when I was 8, I think. So I had already enough stuff to write about. So, and that's not the only thing. But I'm just sharing. Try it. Try it for 1 hour. Just 1 hour, not 15 minutes. 1 hour. Turn off your fucking phone. Think about the problems, the real problems. Write the problem down and write down the possible solutions. Maybe they sound totally out of your reach, but the moment that you start writing them down, your subconscious brain is start looking for it, for the solutions, to fill in those solutions. And if you write down 100 solutions, if not 1,000, there are probably a few working, and then you go for it. And like this I also survived a lot of stuff. Because like I said, most of the things that I ran into, and I also have a different approach to life. I have a different position towards a lot of people. I'm not a follower. And that's why I can also provide a lot of guidance when other people are in trouble. I help a lot of people out of their misery. Some people are in serious problems. We're not talking about let's say, let's see what is extreme for a normal person. Yeah, their car broke down and they cannot get to their work. That is a big problem, right? See, and I have to really think about what I'm gonna say now. Now, for example, yeah, okay, no, I'm not gonna get into this because then I know some people are watching and I cannot, because those situations are so specific that those people think, hey, you know, you cannot. But I would never mention those names. I'm gonna ask about this. I'm gonna ask if I can actually mention a specific situation where other people were involved in. And when it's about myself, I don't know where to start at the moment, but I just want to share. Write things down, sit down, turn off the phone, and then you might say, yeah, Dahlan, I have children, I have a wife. Control your fucking life, man. Stop with this. By the way, I said this also before, because I think yesterday somebody also told me, yeah, because I had this and this, son and this, blah blah blah. The worst thing, I do believe, one of the worst things is to use your children as a shield or an excuse. And then people say, yeah, Dahlan, you don't have children. Yes, but I have a lot of contacts, really strong partners who have more than 3 wives, multiple children, and yeah, they always pick up, they always have time. How do they do it? You have 1, you have 2, you have the excuses, and you use them as a fucking shield. Now, really think about it. You have to a lot of people also really don't think about their own actions, right? If you use your children as an excuse, instead you should say, no, I don't manage my time very well, I don't know what to do. No, if you don't know what to do, start writing things down. Like, I use my children as a shield. Write it down. Embarrassing, right? Sounds fucking, I don't know. If people are men, or let's say it like this, and I'm talking from my view, if people are men, don't use your children. And also as a woman, not. I know, like I said also in one video, I know so many women that are actually 100 times stronger than a lot of average men. And not only in the West, also over here. You know, a lot of suit wearing guys, they wouldn't even know what to do with a ton of different situations. Also keep their head clear without crying. I know people in suits, they would cry. Yeah, anyway, sit down, write things. Oh, Jesus Christ. Write things down. Maybe I have to blur this out. Write things down and sit, think. Close off the thing, close the door, lock the door. Give your wife a little bit money to go out with her girlfriends. And by the way, some people might think, yeah, but then don't trust her. Well, get the hell out of there then. Anyway, ciao for now. Dog. So this is in general. Today it's more or less about sharing how I solve problems. I always need to sit and write. Next to that, I also walk around. I wrote already things down that were pretty like a draft. Consider them, and then after a few hours, then I will talk with the people who are also problem solvers. And this is now the thing, what I always say, make sure that you get rid of your friends, but make sure you got a circle of bonds, people who run the extra 10,000. And is it all about that you need to benefit? No, because I turn something, and that's why I'm constantly also puzzling about the possible opportunities. How can I, of opportunities, how to solve the problem, but also how to monetize it somewhat to the people that I'm asking to participate in the solution. So my problems become for other people not a burden. You understand? A lot of people talk about the problems over and over and over. You know, I'm so fed up with my wife, I'm so fed up with my children, I don't know. Fuck off. Always try to figure it out first, and then in my case I always try to turn the problems into some sort of a beneficial thing for the other people, or maybe on the short term, long term. But like I said, you know, that's why you need 100% people. In case you want to do more in life, you know, if you just taking over the business of your father, who gives a rat's ass? You anyway didn't build it. Or you doing a 9 to 5. You know, if the business burns down or your life, you just get another job. But that's not always the case, especially when you go outside the quote-unquote normality and what is normal. But yeah, so just a little extra insight why I'm solving my problems the way I do. Now I'm walking around. See, for other people who would see me, you know, they would say, yeah, what is this guy doing? I'm always hyper focused, also when I'm walking around. You know, never walk around like, you know, I'm already busy since 4:15. You know, did my training. I talked with a lot of people. And when it's about talking to people, it gets a little bit busy. I'm actually looking for a part that there's not so many people. Wait a minute, I'm gonna, again about the fucking red flags. I'm gonna give you one example of when things can go. And this is actually a pretty normal situation. I asked one guy, a so-called friend, you know, he used to burgle people their homes. And the thing is, besides that, always excuses for a lot of stuff, but also denying things, a whole gangbang. But next to that, that gangbang cost me 3 friends because we solved the problem, but he denied it. But once also, and this is about when you keep people around that are cowards. And this guy is simply a coward, and I don't give a shit if he's watching this. He knows. I asked him because at one point in Malta I lost a lot of stuff and I needed him to translate something in Spanish. He has a fucking Spanish wife or a girlfriend that he knocked up, but he refused to translate. No, I don't know how to talk in business. The only thing that he had to do is just say what I say. See, and that's a very tiny thing, but you can see I had to cut this idiot long time ago. I spent a lot of time with this idiot long time ago, and the only thing he had to do is a little translation with a painter guy. We're not talking about talking with a representative or an executive of Google. No, he just needed to, because I'm running dog groups and I just needed some money, you know, and I found a guy in Madrid or Barcelona, but he only spoke Spanish, but he could do the paintings for the people who died, the dog died, so I could make pretty quick some money. But he refused to fucking do it. He has a wife or whatever, girlfriend in fucking Spain. He speaks the whole time Spanish, really constantly brags about the fact that he speaks tons of languages, but he refused to translate. And the thing is, I don't have any remorse towards him, but that's something about get rid of garbage people, especially when you need to go up in life. Like I said also before, I always sticked around or always hanged around also with people who had normal jobs, and I combined them, mixed them up with people they would normally didn't get in contact with. Also, totally don't do it. So keep that in mind. If you have 9 to 5 people, friends, childhood friends, whatever you call those people, and you would mix them up with higher level people who actually do something for the community and blah blah blah, get rid of them, because they would never get in contact with those people normally, and they also don't have the qualities to actually to make you look the way you presented yourself, because you had to put in the effort to actually get in contact with people. You had to put in the show the skills, and those people just go every day to their work and they see you as a circus attraction. And once you need a little bit something, and that is really also something, I always gave my loyalty to people totally didn't deserve it, and like I said, it ripple effects worse and worse and worse. Get rid of them, and it's probably not nice in the beginning, but just get rid of them. That will save you a lot of headache. And this specific situation, when I asked the fucking idiot just to translate something, no, I don't know how to speak business. You only had to fucking translate something. Think about that, you know. Not only that, and I will explain about this gangbang thing. And I mentioned this already before, but I want to build it up. I want a little bit more audience first. You know, I'm also gonna build up so I get more audience. I also don't want to work with so-called, you know, how do you call those things? Extreme hooks before or whatever. But some people might say, yeah, that's a good thing to try get audience quickly. I want to maintain and retain and also, yeah, let's say level up the audience that I do have now on multiple platforms, and also that they can see the growth of my vlogging thing, and then along the way you get more and more surprised about how extreme actually life can be fucking be, right? And that you really have to be careful. And again, if you're just a 9-to-5 guy, or you're good with whatever the fuck you do and you don't give a shit about your community and all that kind of stuff, no, then better roll over and just you know, stick a thumb in your mouth and one in your ass and roll over. But if you're not one of those people, follow me, subscribe, and hit the ring, this little tiny bell, because it might save you a lot of headache, time, money, resources, everything. It will save you everything, because I made those mistakes. So the main mistake that I actually said now, mixing up people who don't put in the fucking work. You know, if you mix higher level people who own businesses with 9-to-5 people, they have different characteristics. They have different levels of interest into human beings. It's never going to work out well, especially not for you when you're in the middle, like brokering relationships. Not that you earn something from it. The only thing what you will earn, if you do it my way, you will get a lot of headache, and a lot of wasting of time. Anyway, ciao for now. One thing about this Spanish guy, in the previous clip I talked about this, what could prevent me from actually getting more headache from this idiot is simply cutting him off the moment that because he was one of those people, every time when he talked to somebody, and he always talked with people around the street, not like I do. I really like to talk with people and I never talk bad about them, but he always, 99% of the time, he always said something negative about them. Always. And even if he said something negative about them, they also even came at his home. Sad enough, right? That if you think about what I said, you know, he talked, and also multiple times to the same people, and every time something bad. But not only that, also the people who came at his home. I was once sitting at his place also eating. A very disgusting person was sitting over there, and then I couldn't eat anymore because that person was actually so disgusting. But you know, that is I think that is totally, yeah, I don't have actually words for it. When I say these situations and also recall them, you know, then I really can actually bash myself in the face. So people, if you got people around you, they talk bad about other people constantly. You know, sometimes you can say, "No, I didn't expect me that he hit me in the face." You know, that kind of talk, normal. But not every time when you talk with the same people, and also, you know, then really talk bad behind their back, because if they do it about them, they will do it about you. But not only that, let's say you have a good heart for them, which I did, but
Nothing else came good from it. Nothing. Is this something that I regret? No, not at all. But this is really something you should keep in mind, huh? Keep your eyes open, keep your circle clean. Now he's some kind of employee somewhere, and he pretty much, the universe asked him to repay him by living a very dull life, But think about what I'm saying. Look, really stop hanging around with those people, because it will bite you in the ass. Very big time. I'm gonna eat a little bit lentils with carrots, a little bit bread again. I really little bit. I'm hanging around a little bit around the apartment, because I'm solving big things, writing things down. Within 2 hours I'm gonna talk with the solid people, and then we come with a plan of attack. Face forward, always fucking face forward. And another thing, I thought about it, and this is maybe totally irrelevant for some people, but let's assume you have good habits. I need to stir a little bit my lentils. Let's assume that you have good habits, and one of mine is, I think that it's a good habit, is simply training every day. But I had women, they said, no, you can better get married to the calisthenics place. Or also making sneering comments. But the thing is, I'm of course we're not together anymore. Because when you have good habits that are beneficial for you in the first place, next to that, your sex life also, that a lot of people have their roll on a woman. In less than 30 minutes, the whole job is done. Yeah, okay. If she's happy with it, that is good. But not every woman is happy with it. Anyway, never ever give up your good habits for a mediocre woman. And not that I thought she was a mediocre woman in the beginning, but if a woman tells me sneering comments about my good habits, she also definitely benefits from that, then it's good to go. Because if you would have bad habits, yes, then listen to your spouse a little bit, then you should consider to give them up, or at least do your best to meet each other in the middle. But I would never give up being healthy. When I have a normal relationship, because now I'm single, I'm just dating and hang around, I'm drinking beer. But when I'm in a more serious relationship, I don't drink beer anymore. But it's for me or less, let's say, to calm down a little bit after a day. Because now also, I started today at 4:15, and it's not to brag or whatever, but the thing is, I need a little bit mental rest. With the training, the work, now I solve the problem, some sort of what. Other people will benefit from it. They benefit from my problems. In the meantime, I benefit from their feedback, and probably a lot of other things are beneficial for myself as well. So people benefit from my troubles, actually. That's what I'm also trying to do, really. So now I'm gonna eat a little bit, and that's pretty much it. But keep your eyes open, never give up your good habits. Bad habits, yes, consider them to change them if you're really in love with the woman or the man, but never give up the good ones. Never. And also never meet in the middle, because when it's about good habits, once the relationship is done, let's say it like this: the outcome of me that I would give up my good habits of training, what would, and then you give up, and then the relationship anyway goes to hell. Okay. I don't see any benefit of them. If you think different, let me know in the comments. Bad habits, yes. Ciao for now. Sitting here in the kitchen, I'm thinking. Again, The Greatest Salesman, scroll number 6. If you didn't watch the videos, the previous videos, The Greatest Salesman in the World by O.G. Mandino. Again, this is a book recommendation if you didn't watch the previous videos. So I'm gonna read a little bit from the scroll. This is scroll number 9, and that one is about action. So let me read just a few sentences. And again, no, I'm not gonna repeat it. Just watch yesterday's video, the day before also. But scroll number 9 is about action. My dreams are worthless. My plans are dust. My goals are impossible. All are of no value unless they are followed by action. I will act now. Never has there been a map, however carefully executed to detail and scale, which carried its owner over even 1 inch of ground. Never has there been a parchment of law, however fair, which prevented one crime. Never has there been a scroll even such as the one I hold, which earned so much as a penny or produced a single word of acclamation. Action. Action alone is the tinder which ignites the map, the parchment. This scroll, my dreams, my plans, my goals into a living force. So I'm gonna leave you with this because probably then I want to respect the book. So, but this book was influenced my life so much. 10 Scrolls, Greatest Salesman of O.G. Mandino. So I did for today already my book thing because I'm not 100% sure what I'm gonna do. So, scroll number 9. 10 scrolls in this book. There's a little bit of pre-story, forget about that. The 10 scrolls that will change your life. Anyway,